The 2020 NFL season gave the Minnesota Vikings a clear idea of how the team could be improved over the offseason. From poor to mediocre offensive line play, to the defense allowing 40-plus points to a team like the Falcons, some moves needed to be made. This is your up-to-date video showcasing each of the free agency pickups that General Manager Rick Spielman has made thus far. Just a note, this will only include free agent signings. Players who have re-signed with the Vikings over the offseason are excluded from this list. The Vikings kicked things off by bringing back a familiar face in Stephen Weatherly. Weatherly left the Vikings after the 2019 season to go play with Teddy Bridgewater in Carolina. After his short hiatus from the team, Weatherly is back, and is expected to be more of a rotational/depth guy to hopefully improve one of the league's worst defensive lines from 2020. Signing number 2 consisted of more help for the defensive line. Dalvin Tomlinson was signed on a 2-year, $21 million deal. Tomlinson is expected to take the place of now former defensive tackle Shamar Stephen and become the starting 3-technique defensive tackle. While 8 sacks in 4 seasons doesn't sound all that impressive, that's not how Tomlinson plays. He posted great PFF grades in the 2020 season and will surely be a load up the middle that will hopefully help the Vikings' run defense bounce back from a horrid 2020 season. Former Chargers and Bengals linebacker Nick Vigil was the team's next signing, and at a 1-year, $1.7 million deal, you can certainly say that this was more of a depth signing. Vigil has never really been a long-term, full-time starter for any of the teams that he's played for, except for the 2019 season where he started all 16 games for Cincinnati. His PFF grades and general stats are nothing to write home about, but he does bring in some extra depth and a little bit of veteran leadership that could help the relatively young Vikings linebacker core. And who knows, if no more major moves are made in free agency or the draft, there is a decent chance that Vigil gets a starting role. Easily the most unexpected signing of the offseason goes to Patrick Peterson when he signed a 1-year deal worth $10 million. As many of you know, Peterson was considered one of the best corners in the league during his prime, making the Pro Bowl in his first 8 seasons. While he isn't quite where he once was in terms of overall production, Peterson is still a great veteran presence to have around emerging players like Cameron Dantzler and Jeff Gladney. And who knows, the possibility of punt returning is also there if needed. More help for the secondary came in after the Patrick Peterson signing, as the Vikings signed former Bengals cornerback Mackenzie Alexander to a 1-year deal. Alexander started his career in Minnesota and decided to leave for 1 year just when things were looking on the up and up. Alexander is a player who is familiar with the team and the way that the defense works, and while PFF certainly isn't a fan of him in the run game or in pass rush, his coverage ability is still more than acceptable and exactly what the team needs. He was a personal favorite of mine, and I'm sure he'll provide even more mentorship to the younger pieces of our secondary. The most recent and possibly last signing of free agency that was made was even more secondary help. Xavier Woods of the Dallas Cowboys was signed on a 1-year deal worth $2.3 million. Woods will be going into his 5th season in 2021, and for a guy as young as him and as cheap as he was, this deal could only be considered bad if he blows up or gets some sort of season-ending injury. He provides some sort of certainty and stability at a position that the Vikings didn't really have anyone for. The hope here is that Harrison Smith can teach him his ways and breed another excellent safety. Woods already has excelled in the pass rush and done well in coverage. He isn't the biggest ball hawk, but when you're on the field with Harry the Hitman, it doesn't really matter. For those of you that are wondering, the Mason Cole deal was not included because he technically wasn't a free agent, he was a part of a trade. This has been a Skull Network production. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys all in the next video.